Good morning all. Myself Srinivas Iyer. Today we are discussing about some application level concepts of alternating current, because in our yesterday's class we have discussed some basic aspects of alternating current. I am going to deal with a derivation. Which kind of derivation? Derive an expression for instantaneous alternating current in an AC circuit with a pure resistor. I am going to explain that again. Derive an expression for instantaneous current in an AC circuit with pure resistor. For that, we have to write a circuit diagram, and with that we have to write a phasor diagram. We are going to see what is the meaning of phasor diagram and what is the meaning of circuit diagram. Using that circuit diagram, we are going to derive a derivation for instant value of alternating current with the help of a pure resistor. In this derivation, we have to write a graphical representation of the instantaneous value of current and voltage also. Now let us see how we are going to deal with that. Derive an expression for instantaneous current in an AC circuit with a pure resistor. So, using this heading, I am going to draw our circuit diagram. Let how it will be look like. Initially, I am going to draw an AC circuit. This is our AC source. Along with AC source, we are connecting a pure resistor. This is our pure resistor. The value we don't know that. Simply we are writing that as R. But the equation for instantaneous value of voltage and current, we know that in yesterday's class we have discussed about that. The instantaneous value of voltage is V is equal to V naught sin omega t, and the value of instantaneous current is I is equal to I naught omega t. But this is the AC source. I am going to write a equation of V is equal to V naught sin omega t. This is the expression for instantaneous voltage. But I have already I have also said that we have to write a phasor diagram. This equation can also call like this. Show that current and voltage both are in phase in an AC circuit with a pure resistor. The derivation can also call like this. Show that both current and voltage are in phase in an AC circuit with a pure resistor. In your exam, they may also ask a question like this. For this, maximum they are going to ask 2 to 3 marks. in your examination there is a probability of asking this derivation for 2 mark or 3 mark. We don't know for how many marks they are going to ask, but we have to do that. If they ask what is the phasor diagram, both are in phase, that means both the current and voltage has to be in phase. There should not be any difference between these phase. Let us assume this as a direction of a voltage, and let us assume this as direction of current. This should be in phase. This is our phasor diagram. The phase difference is equal to 0. The phase difference between voltage and current is 0 for this circuit. If we are connecting a resistor along with the AC source, the phase difference between voltage and current are in phase. That means the phase difference of that particular circuit is 0. Now we are going to derive using this circuit. Initially, what is this? R is the resistance of a resistor in an AC circuit. In this particular diagram, R is the resistance of a resistor in an AC circuit. What is this? Here we have considered alternating potential difference. Alternating potential difference is nothing but alternating voltage. We may call voltage as potential difference or potential difference as voltage. So the alternating potential difference in an AC circuit is, what is the expression for alternating potential difference in our AC circuit? That is V is equal to V naught sin omega t. This is the expression for alternating potential difference or alternating voltage. We may call that as alternating voltage. Let us assume this as equation 1. I am going to consider this equation as equation 1. But we know that what are the values of V naught and omega? What is V naught? V naught is the peak value of potential difference. Peak value of potential difference, and omega is angular frequency. The value of angular frequency omega is equal to 2 pi into f. We know the value of angular frequency, that is 2 pi f. Omega is angular frequency and V naught is peak value of potential difference in this equation. But we know that from Ohm's law. We know Ohm's law. What is Ohm's law? The potential difference is directly proportional to current. That is the basic form of Ohm's law. That is, from Ohm's law, we know that V is equal to I into R. We very well know this expression. We have studied this Ohm's law in our current electricity chapter. V is equal to I into R is the expression for Ohm's law. But I don't want voltage, I need current. If we alternate this equation what we will get, I is equal to V divided by R. If we alter this equation, if we send this R from one side of the equation to the another side, it will comes to the denominator of another side. Then it is equal to Y is equal to V divided by R. Let us assume this as equation 2. I have considered expression for alternating potential difference. V is equal to V naught sin omega t as equation 1, and Ohm's law equation for current I is equal to V divided by R as a equation 2. If we are substituting the values of equation 1 in equation 2, substitute equation 1 in equation 2. If we substitute the values of equation 1 in equation 2, what we will get? I is equal to, for the value of V, we have to substitute the whole thing here. So, then what we will get? I is equal to V divided by R. Instead of V, I am going to write V naught sin omega t. Then what we will get is V naught sin omega t divided by R. This is our new expression for current for this AC circuit. The expression for AC circuit is I is equal to V naught sin omega t. But in this expression, what I am going to consider is this V naught divided by R as I naught into sin omega t. How this is possible? Because I am going to consider I naught as V naught divided by R. How this equation is modified? Because I am considering V naught divided by R as I naught. This is the peak value of current. Let us assume this as equation 3. Here we have V is equal to V naught sin omega t, but in this particular expression 3, I is equal to I naught sin omega t. On comparing equation 1 and 3, if we compare both the equation 1 and equation 3, what we will get? Both voltage and current are in phase. By looking at this particular expression, we can easily say that both voltage and current are in phase. This is the end of the expression. This is our last step. I is equal to I naught sin omega t. Don't get bothered. This is the easy derivation. They may ask this for 2 mark or 3 mark. This is an easy one. If there is any doubt, please ask later. I am going to explain that. Further, what we have to do is we have to show both voltage and current are in phase, that graphically. How we can show that? I am going to write that thing. Hope you all getting my concepts. Now I am writing a phasor diagram, not a phasor diagram, a graphical representation of a phasor diagram. X-axis is our time axis, time scale. I am considering x-axis as our time scale and y-axis as current and voltage axis. Current in terms of ampere, voltage in terms of volts. I have considered x-axis as our time scale and y-axis as current and voltage scale. In this particular graph, I am assuming this waveform as voltage waveform. This is our voltage waveform. What I have said is both voltage and current are in phase. The phase difference between voltage and current should be equal to 0. So for that, what I have did is I have draw a dotted waveform. This is for current. The dotted line is a current waveform and the actual line is voltage waveform. Both current and voltage are in phase. Look at this. There is no phase difference between these two concepts. This is path. The waveform carrying its own path is called as path. Current is carrying different path and voltage is carrying different path. Both voltage and current has some path difference, but we are not talking about path difference. We are talking about phase difference. The phase of these two waveforms are same. Therefore, we have called this as phase difference is equal to 0. There is no phase difference between voltage and current. This is the end of our derivation. If may ask this derivation for 3 marks, we have to write this graphical representation also. If they may ask for 2 marks, this is more than enough. I is equal to I naught sin omega t, that is more than enough. If they particularly ask, write the graphical representation of a phasor diagram, then we have to write this. This is all about the expression for instantaneous current in an AC circuit with a pure resistor. This is our resistor, this is our AC source. Using these materials we have derived a derivation. Next, what we have to do is we have to derive an expression for instantaneous current in an AC circuit with the help of a pure inductor. Next topic is derive an expression for instantaneous current in an AC circuit with a pure inductor, or we may call that as also like this. Show that current and voltage have a phase difference of 90 degree if we are connecting a pure inductor to the alternating current circuit. They may also ask like this: derive an expression for instantaneous alternating current with a pure resistor and write phasor diagram and represent a graph graphically. They may ask like that. Or show that both voltage and current are in a phase difference. Now we have to derive an expression for instantaneous alternating current in an AC circuit with a pure inductor. Earlier we have derived for pure resistor. Now we have to derive this for pure inductor. Before going to that, we should know what is the meaning of inductor. In our earlier chapter, electromagnetic induction, we have thoroughly studied about what is the meaning of pure inductor. Inductor is a device which stores the energy in the form of an magnetic field. The device stores an energy in the form of a magnetic field is called as inductor. We may call an inductor also like this. It is a device which opposes the change in direction of current flowing through it. If the device opposes the change in direction of current flowing through it is also called as pure inductor. A pure inductor is generally will be like this. If we assume this as a soft iron core, on the surface of this iron core, we have to wound a thick copper wire. Short, thick copper wire. If we wound a thick, short copper wire on a soft iron core, generally it will be a pure inductor. Now, let us discuss about derivation for that. Instead of a resistor in this particular derivation, I am going to consider a inductor. We know that actually the general symbol of inductor will be like this. It will be like a spring or spiral spring. The symbolic representation of inductor will be like this. I am going to write that for this circuit. This is our inductor. Inductor representation will be using capital L. Symbol capital L. We are going to assuming inductor as L. Here we have a pure inductor along with an AC circuit. The remaining things in this particular circuit will be like this only. But if the current is flowing from this particular direction, it won't allow to change its direction again. That is the concept of inductor. It won't change the direction of flow of current. That is inductor. Now we have to write a phasor diagram for this particular circuit. There is a phase difference of 90 degree in case of a pure inductor is connected to an alternating source circuit. In this particular derivation, the phase difference between voltage and current is 90 degree. This is voltage on inductor means VL means voltage on inductor. This is voltage and current, both are in phase. What is the phase difference between these two? Phase difference is equal to 90 degree. Or we may call this also like this. Voltage leads current by a phase of 90 degree. In your examination, they may also ask a question like this. Show that voltage leads current by 90 degree phase with a pure inductor. If may ask like that, you have to derive the same thing. This is our circuit diagram. In our circuit diagram, we have an inductor and a AC source connected along with that. The phasor diagram for both voltage and current will be like this. There is a phase difference between these two of 90 degree, and here our phasor diagram is. Here, what is this L? L is the inductance. L is not inductor, L is inductance of an inductor. L is nothing but inductance of an inductor in an AC circuit. Next, what is the alternating potential difference? Again, we have to write that expression only. The alternating potential difference in an AC circuit is, what is that expression? That is V is equal to V naught sin omega t. The expression for alternating value of voltage or alternating potential difference is V is equal to V naught sin omega t. Let us assume this as equation 1. But in this particular case, what we are going to consider is we have to apply Kirchhoff's law. There are two laws in Kirchhoff's laws. One is Kirchhoff's node law and Kirchhoff's loop law. Kirchhoff's current law or Kirchhoff's voltage law. Here we are considering Kirchhoff's loop law or Kirchhoff's voltage law. What is the meaning of Kirchhoff's voltage law or Kirchhoff's loop law? What it says? The sum of current and resistance products is equal to the sum of EMFs inside a loop. In a loop, the sum of current and resistance products is equal to the sum of EMFs in a circuit. That is our Kirchhoff loop law or voltage law. Let us assume this as our loop. I have considered this as our loop. Then what we are going to do? If we apply Kirchhoff's loop law for this circuit, if we apply Kirchhoff's loop law for this circuit, what we will get? We will get V plus E is equal to I into R. This is our expression. How we can write an expression like this? What is this? This is EMF. That is total EMF of this particular circuit. Actually, what is an inductor means? Inductor sets an EMF inside that soft iron core. Because if the direction of current will be like this, if we assume this as a soft iron core and we have if you wind a copper wire on the surface of the iron core, if the current starts to flow from one direction, there is an force set inside that soft iron core. The force which is set in this particular core is also called as electromotive force. That is EMF. Here E is EMF of an inductor. Here E is EMF of an inductor. That is E. This is V. That is potential difference, alternating potential difference. What is this I? What is this R? This is current that is flowing through that particular circuit, and R is the resistance of the circuit. But in case of a pure inductor, the resistance value is equal to 0. There is no resistance in this particular inductor. That is why we have called that R as 0. In case of a pure inductor, the value of resistance is equal to 0. So we may assume this particular term as 0. Only this one. Then what will be our expression? V plus E is equal to 0. But in our earlier chapter, we know that the expression for EMF of an inductor. What is the expression for EMF of an inductor? EMF of an inductor is equal to E is equal to minus L into di divided by dt. This is the expression for EMF of an inductor. That is E is equal to minus L into di divided by dt. If we substitute the values of this in this particular equation, then what we will get? V plus minus L into di divided by dt is equal to 0. This is our expression. If we send this negative term to the another side of the equation, what we will get? That is V is equal to L into di divided by dt. This means if we are sending this negative term to the another side, it changes its sign. Negative will become positive. Positive plus 0 is positive. If we add something to the 0, the something value remains the same. That's why we have written like this: V is equal to L into di divided by dt. Let us assume this as equation. V is equal to L into di divided by dt is our equation. What we have to do right now, if we substitute the value of equation 1 in this particular equation dt, or we may write this equation as L is equal to di divided by dt as V divided by L into dt is equal to di. Let us assume this as equation. We have made some modify, that's it. V is equal to L into di divided by dt. That is our expression actually. I have sent this L to the another side of the equation and dt to the another side of the equation. And what it will become? Di is equal to V divided by L into dt. This is what we have written here. V divided by L into dt is equal to divided by. Now substitute the value of equation 1 in equation 2. I am going to rub the upper one. If we substitute the value of equation 1 to this particular equation, what we will get? That is di is equal to V. Instead of V, we have to write V naught sin omega t. That is V naught sin omega t divided by L into dt. This is our expression after the substitution of equation 1 in equation 2. That is di is equal to V divided by L into dt is become V naught sin omega t divided by L into dt. If we integrate this particular equation, what we will get? Let us see. If we integrate the above equation, integrating the above equation with respect to time, if we are integrating the above equation with respect to time t, then what we will get is integral of di is equal to integral of V naught divided by L into sin omega t into dt. Integral of di is equal to integral of V naught divided by L sin omega into dt is the expression. If we have to integrate this equation, means we have to leave the constant aside, because we cannot integrate a constant terms. In this particular equation, which one is our constant term? V naught and L are the constant terms, and with respect to time only we have to integrate. That means the t concept should be inside the integral. So I am taking this constant out of that particular equation. Then what we will get? In this particular equation, integration of differentiation gets cancelled. So I is equal to V naught divided by L. These are the constants. That's why I have taken out. And the remaining concepts of integration are sin omega t into dt. Now we have to integrate this particular equation with respect to t. What is the integration of sin omega t? The integration of sin omega t is equal to minus cos omega t, because we know that the expression for sin theta is equal to minus cos theta. Differentiation of sin theta is cos theta. Integration of sin theta is equal to minus cos theta. So the equation will change that as V naught divided by L into minus cos omega t. This is the expression for integral of sin omega t. But we know expression for cos omega t. What is the expression for cos omega t? In our first PUC mathematics, we know some trigonometric allied angles. In that particular concept, the expression for minus cos omega t is sin omega t minus 90. This is the expression for minus cos omega t, not for plus cos omega t. That is minus cos omega t is equal to sin omega t minus 90 degree. Or we may write this equation as I is equal to, here if we integrate sin omega t with respect to time t, in denominator we will get omega. We have to keep that as it is, and if we taken out from here to here, then V0 divided by omega L into sin of omega t minus 90 is the remaining factors. If we assume this V0 divided by omega into L as our peak value of current, if we assume V0 divided by omega into L as our peak value of current, what we will get, I is equal to I0 into sin omega t minus 90 degree. I is equal to I0 sin omega t minus 90 degree. Let us assume this as equation 3, because we have equation 1 V is equal to V0 sin omega t, and equation 2 is equal to di is equal to V0 divided by L into dt, sin omega into dt. Here we have considered I is equal to I0 sin omega t minus 90 as equation 3. On comparing equation 1 and 3, if we compare equation 1 and 3, what is our equation 1? That is V is equal to V0 sin omega t. Let us see. If I0 is there, V0 is there, V is there, I is there. This is sin omega t minus 90. This is sin omega t. On comparing these two equations only, we are getting that there is a phase difference of 90 degree in this particular concept. The difference between voltage and current is there. What is the difference value? That is 90 degree. Hence, we have written this potential difference, the phase difference between voltage and current is 90 degree, or you may call like this: voltage leads the current by a phase of 90 degree in a pure inductor connected with a AC circuit, or we may call that also like this: current lags behind voltage. Current leads, or voltage leads, or current lags behind voltage in an AC circuit connected to a pure inductor. We may write as our wish. This is our last expression for this derivation. This one is also asked for 2 to 3 marks in our examination. Generally, they are going to ask for this one is 3 marks. 2 marks they won't ask this one. For pure inductor, it is for 2 marks. For this derivation, it is approximately 3 marks. The last step of this particular derivation is a graphical representation of a phasor diagram. X-axis is time scale and y-axis both current and voltage scale. I am considering like that. This waveform is a representation for voltage. voltage waveform. We may call that as also as voltage waveform. Here the current lags behind voltage by 90-degree phase shift, or the voltage leads current by a phase difference of 90 degree. For that, what I am doing is, this is how we have to write. Look, the maximum value of voltage is here, and the maximum point of current is here. The peak value of voltage, this is V0, and the peak value of current is here. There is some difference between these two parts. There is a difference between voltage and current. This difference is called as phase difference of 90 degree. This is how we are representing graphically for the phase diagram. The phase difference between voltage and current is 90 degree. Here voltage is going forward and current lags behind the voltage, or voltage leads current by a phase shift of 90 degree. This is all about an expression for instantaneous current in an AC circuit with the help of a pure inductor. This is all about the pure inductor derivation.